playground. Hooray!
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tom Cap, one of the characters on the Outcast podcast. Just a quick disclaimer, we were super stoned when we recorded this episode, and you'll hear we talk about this being episode 28. This is actually episode 29. 29 episodes. Enjoy.
Get to the chopper!
Do you guys know what episode we're up to at this point?
28?
29, right?
This is episode 28. I do believe you are the winner of that question.
TK. Thank you.
DJ Tomcat.
I think he cheated.
On fire to start.
Oh, I love the episode, so I remember.
The Outcast podcast. We've been getting a lot of reviews in the App Store. People saying that the show is hilarious.
Cool.
We're getting 5-star ratings, and we appreciate
that.
Thank you.
We appreciate you giving us those
Subscribe
ratings.
and click those like buttons or wherever it is.
Well, the
you can find
reviews
us
seem
and
to
stuff.
be what we really need. So if you could go on there and just leave a little review, even if it's bad, even if you're just like Ramo sounds like he smells bad, that's great.
How does a
And then
person
just
sound
5 stars.
like they smell bad?
He just sounds like it. It's like a sound of a smell.
We have a new
Man, that guy sounds
We have
smelly.
a new sponsor on the show as well. We'd like to welcome in our friends from BetterHelp.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And Memphis, you said you've actually used their service.
I have.
And explain exactly what BetterHelp is to our audience.
So BetterHelp is a online therapy session where you could get a therapist. You know, you sign up. You know, go online on their website, BetterHelp.com. You sign up, and you just kind of put some little things about yourself in there, what's going on, and then they pair you with a therapist within like 24, 48 hours, and you know, they help you out. I mean, for me, doing it at the time, I got it when we were doing a shutdown, and I was having some just personal issues going on, and then some stuff with my marriage and everything, and so I decided I would reach out to a therapist. First time in my life, and I had no idea what I was doing, but my therapist was mad cool. And she helped me work out a lot of stuff. So thank you, BetterHelp, for hopping on with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, our listeners will save 10%. We'll tell you more how you can get the hookup with BetterHelp coming up later in the show. I did get some therapy when I was going through my divorce. And the thing I liked about it best was you had somebody in the middle that could be on your side, because constantly one of the reasons why we got divorced is because we disagreed all the time.
Right.
And I would say things and she would say things and she'd be like, "No, you're wrong." And at that point, it's just like, why argue with her? But then when you have somebody in the middle that has your back,
That calls you and
calls
them out on their shit.
The therapist, they got a lot. This is a licensed therapist. Do you realize this?
It's hard to debate
It's hard to debate a licensed therapist.
Sure.
And the other thing I like about specifically about BetterHelp is that you can do it online. So it's not like the old days where only the rich and famous would get therapy and be able to actually sit down and talk to somebody. Now you can just do it online. It's affordable. You could do it over your camera on your laptop or your phone, or you could just do it over the phone. They got people 24/7. So go to BetterHelp.com/Outcast.
Do it.
And save 10%. One guy who may need some therapy after what's going on right now is our former president, Donald Trump. It sounds like the feds are on to him.
They on his ass.
And I don't know what they're trying to dig up, but I'll say this, that in the last 5-6 years, it seems like they have been on a hunt to take Donald Trump down. And,
Well, he brought it upon himself.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
Well, what's going on now? Maybe.
I guess
don't know what's
we
happening.
don't really know.
I don't know. Yeah, really. That's true.
The thing that is odd to me is that this is unprecedented. You know,
Yeah.
This is like it's never happened.
I would imagine it has something to do with everything going on with January 6th.
Yeah.
I have to.
You think that that's what it is?
I mean, what else could it possibly be for that extreme of a situation to happen, like that type of occurrence
and show
it
up?
It has to be major. Like it has to be something that's just
because the feds don't come after you unless they've
been watching.
I mean, when they be watching you, but when they come and raid your shit, I mean, it's
when you're not home. They even went to his house when he wasn't home.
Well, they
and broke open his safe.
They had to go there when he wasn't home because that property is protected by the Secret Service, which is what's kind of weird about it, right? Because you could get a subpoena and the Secret Service is there. So it's not like you're having to perform a raid on a house where you don't know what's inside. You could be in communication with the Secret Service, but that's neither here nor there. So they had to wait till he was gone. Well, they said they're looking for records, 15 boxes of records that he took from the White House, including a handwritten note from Barack Obama they left in the drawer, when they switched presidencies. Things
well,
like
I read that this
But
kind of
that's what
stuff
they do.
happens in other presidencies. For other presidents, they
That's
take
right.
things with them, and then they end up speaking to them, one-on-one or whatever. They contact them, and they have a conversation about it, and then they hand over the documents.
Yep.
And I guess this is something that has happened in Obama's presidency. It's happened in multiple presidencies. I would say there were some things they were looking for from the Clinton administration that they never did find. Emails that ended up being deleted and all that Benghazi stuff. They did go after Hillary afterwards a little bit, at least questioned her.
Yeah.
Sure.
But there were a lot of things that they couldn't find. I don't know that they ever
Didn't find anything,
I don't think they ever raided her house.
Right. And if,
Well, she wasn't very, she was like, whenever they were questioning her and doing, she was like, yeah, go ahead. She like,
well,
gave
she
up everything
bleach
she was
bitted.
doing.
No, she
Well, I
she
mean,
denied the
it's-
subpoenas, bleach bitted all the stuff, and then she deleted a bunch of emails. That's what she did. That's what she did, though.
Are you sure? You were
Yeah.
there? You saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been paying attention for the past like 5 years.
What's the proof that you have that she did? 'Cause
What?
I know
Yeah.
they
Well,
said
okay,
that
what's
they,
the proof that you have that he did? I mean,
I will
is that
say
the
they've
road
been-
we're going?
See, no, but that's where you're going down. You
Oh,
brought
is
it
it?
up. None of us brought it up. We're
No,
just saying.
I brought it up, the whole story. Did I?
No. But that part of it, like, we're just saying, like, we don't know. Like, you said it.
I did say that.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Well, he was
What are you
talking
saying?
about that the Clintons also had things. Well,
Right.
in all the other presidencies, every presidency, think about Nixon. Think about Watergate. They say it's not worse than Watergate. No FBI agents ever raided anyone's home until now.
Well, it's
Donald
first time
Trump.
for everything, I guess. Huh?
Donald Trump. But see, it's going to backfire because if they do take Donald Trump out, they pave the way for DeSantis, who no one on the Democrat bench can beat. And if they don't take him out, well, they just galvanized everyone who's
Can't beat
who's
what?
really pissed.
can't be what?
Well, they say
Can't
it's
beat
not
him
really
in the
a raid.
presidential election.
What they say?
Well, yeah.
Come
I mean,
on
I
back.
think I think
come on back.
Ramos.
Hey, when you're done laughing, come on back to the
think,
conversation.
I think he's laughing because I believe that we don't even control our own election. They'll probably delete this
Look,
podcast.
here's the thing. This
I don't-
shows
they
you.
might-
This
they
shows
might
you
do
that
this.
He
there's.
isn't even. He's still running for governor, as far as we know, of Florida. You're talking about him running for president. What are you talking about?
He's running. These are the two.
how's he going to
top-
be governor of Florida and then run for president? Like, can they do that? And I don't know that they can do that.
This will be in 2024. He'll be
I think
done.
they
That's
gotta
2
give up.
years. No, you don't. You're 4-year terms. It's like the presidency. It's on
No,
opposite.
he's up to
Senate
run.
seats, I think, are only 2 years.
Yeah, Senate seats.
Yeah.
But
He's a
governor
governor 4.
is 4.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's up to run in 2024.
So
That's
then
what they say.
maybe he's not running for Florida governor. I thought he was.
Yeah, he is actually.
He's an incumbent. Like, he almost has to, doesn't he? Or relinquish his seat beforehand? I don't know how that works.
When you go to the Quinnipiac straw poll, right, where they do all the conservatives that get together, the two people that they picked from that were at the top, Ron DeSantis,
Sure.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump beat Ron DeSantis by a lot, but they wouldn't be voting on him if he wasn't
No,
going to run.
I totally. Well, okay. I understand. Well, maybe it's just an opinion piece, though.
He's
Maybe
like
it's
the
not
number
just like
two.
factual, like, hey, like, this is going to happen. Who do you pick? It was more like in your fantasy world, who would you prefer?
So it's like fantasy football for.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of places do polls and shit like that. Like, I'm sure it's not exclusive to that particular group or magazine or wherever you got it from.
But this is Banana Republic stuff. This is what you do. You prosecute when your enemies get out of office. You fucking send the FBI into their house, kick down their doors, get them.
I actually
Banana. That's what they do. That's never been done in America before.
I hope that they find something because
Yeah,
if,
me
So
too.
what happens
If
when
they
a
don't-
Republican, when Donald Trump gets back to be president again? That's got to be terrifying to even hear that come out of my mouth for you. And he does it, has them kick down their doors. Or
Well,
but here's the thing. Here's what I see. There is a deep state in this country because it proves it. They say they didn't even tell Joe Biden about the raid, right? And then they raided the former president. That means that there is something in the middle there that is operating without the permission of either the new president or the old one.
Well, you
The
know,
deep state. There it is.
The FBI director is actually a Donald Trump appointee, so it's actually his guy that he appointed, and so his guy was like gave the sign off to go them to.
No,
Execute.
They know what
guy-
the hell
no,
they're
no,
doing.
no, no, no.
That's-
That's
Come on,
not-
it's
Because it
not-
wasn't a raid, it was just an executed search warrant.
Come on
It
back.
wasn't a raid, it was an
Come on
executed
back, I'll
search
tell you.
warrant.
what's the truth, TK?
The
'Cause I
truth
know you
is
have the truth.
that he didn't sign off on it. There was an FBI agent who was assigned to the case. He's the one who started the criminal investigation, and a judge in Florida signed off on it. And actually, he's a big Obama donor, this judge. And he also he was also defending the Jeffrey Epstein people. So all the employees.
I don't know about that because I mean,
finish?
if you're gonna do something like that, I mean, I'm sorry to cut in on you, but it's if a former president, the director of FBI has to know about that. Nobody.
I'm not saying he didn't know about it. He didn't authorize it. This judge authorized it. A judge has to sign off on a warrant, not the head of the FBI. So,
but he probably knows about the warrant and it has to like help them issue it, like, right? Like, wouldn't he have to sign off on the actual warrant going to the judge?
No, the office, the FBI agent who opened the case on Donald Trump for taking the records is the one who went to the judge. The judge signed off on the case.
Right.
The head of the FBI has nothing to do with it.
Well, you would think if you're the head,
he knows about it.
To do with it.
He knows about it.
If you're the head, you're
somebody's there on your behalf. Basically, is what it is.
Right.
Like, okay, so he's definitely knows what the fuck's going on.
He knows about it. They're saying the president didn't know about it.
Oh, he shouldn't. It's an investigation. Like, you wouldn't know if the freaking FBI was coming after you. Nobody would. Okay. I would imagine.
Right.
Well, the reason why I say that I hope that they find something is because if they don't, I think I'm to the point where I'm going to get pissed off. Like, leave the guy alone. You've been trying to get him on the Russia collusion, didn't find anything. They've tried to get him on his tax returns. It seems like they
2 impeachments.
Well, he hasn't released those.
Even though
they're working.
They got him now.
Yeah.
But I mean, at some point, you got to have something. And
I'm sure they do.
You know what? And
how long can we go on fucking with this guy?
I agree with you on that.
Come up with something to bury him.
I agree with you on that because that's also wasting resources.
Of course.
Yes.
You know, that's definitely
wasting
resources. So I mean,
you know what he should have had in the safe? Hunter Biden's laptop. Then when they went to bust it in there, they'd be like, "Oh, we don't want that."
Let's move on to a new topic. Let's move on to a new topic.
It's getting UFOs.
There is a
hilarious
TikTok challenge out there.
Another one? What is going on with these damn TikTok challenges?
This one's dangerous, though. It sparks car thefts and class action lawsuits against Kia and Hyundai.
Ooh.
So it's bad because I guess these kids, the challenge is they've found out that in certain models of Kias and Hyundais that you could take a USB cord, your standard USB, and you can take the ignition off of these vehicles and then pop this USB inside where the key goes, and you could start the cars.
I want to figure this shit out.
And they're like hot wiring these cars.
Somebody who was late for work.
You ain't bullshitting.
I can't believe it. So it's
now, how do you do this again? Hold on, let me write this down.
Broke down
let me get
on the side of the road.
What do you do?
I'm going to have to find the actual article.
Send me that link.
You're teaching these little fuckers how to do this on this show now. You know that, right?
Yeah, we used to call that hot wiring.
This is not good for Kia and Hyundai stock, I can tell you that.
You don't think?
I'm trying to think of the challenges we had when we were a kid. Did we even do challenges? It was more like, hey, I challenge you to go over there and grab that girl's ass.
Was double dog dare you, triple dog?
Shit like that.
I double dog dare you to go over there and ask her out.
Whatever it was.
These TikTok
Eat
challenges
this, eat that,
is
eat
drinking,
that.
Drink this whole bottle. I
doing
dare you
shit.
to
Like, have
give you
y'all
$1.
seen the
Dumb
TikTok
shit.
challenge where the one little goofy little dude and his friend is like go to different stores or wherever, and he walks up on random people and like this little Latino kid, and people, he does something so disrespectful that people like little go beat his ass. He's like, oh no, it's a joke. Have y'all seen any one of those?
No.
I haven't seen it either.
We should redo that though. Starring Memphis.
Shit.
Yeah.
I have a story.
What does he do though? Whip his balls out?
Well,
Hey kid,
all right.
you want some ice cream?
No, he
too
like walk
far.
up to a guy and be like, man, your girl got a fat ass. And he'd be like, what? Motherfucker, I'm about to knock all your teeth out.
I have a story here from ABC 7 out of Lakewood, California. They're talking about this TikTok challenge that has people's Kias and Hyundais getting stolen right from their driveways.
That's crazy.
It appears a Lakewood man is one of the victims with his Hyundai car stolen right out of his own driveway. Orange County reporter David Gonzalez spoke with him and has statements from both car manufacturers.
It's confusing to think that could just happen, and it happens so casually that you don't really turn your head and really notice it.
Brad Critchfield is trying to wrap his head around what happened outside his home last Monday.
What kind of mic does this guy have? I mean, it sounds like he just all of a sudden went in his bathroom on his little toy microphone.
To his 2012 Hyundai Tucson open and getting inside.
He got in within 30 seconds and then took off right after, because the ring also picks up my wife walking by the now empty driveway within 3 minutes minutes after the fact.
Brad does not know why he was targeted, but authorities across the country are investigating a rise in Hyundai and Kia car thefts.
Oh, my girlfriend has a Hyundai.
Car owners of a new TikTok challenge, which encourages people to break into these cars. The video allegedly teaches them how to jumpstart the car using a USB cable.
The scary part
But how
is
did they get under the hood?
And how long?
They just get into the ignition.
Started from a TikTok challenge, which shows the power of influence that social media can have, especially on young folk.
In a statement, Hyundai says, Hyundai Motor America is concerned with the rise in local auto thefts. The safety and well-being of our customers and the community is and will remain our top
You little
priority.
fuckers are ruining
These
everything.
vehicles meet or exceed federal motor vehicle safety standards, and engine
Yeah,
and
some lawyer
immobilizers
wrote
are
that
standard
response
equipment
there.
on all
Totally.
new Hyundai vehicles. Brad
Thank
is
a
not
libtard.
hope that he'll get his car back anytime soon.
Still hasn't gotten his
because
car back.
no one else falls victim to this alleged TikTok challenge.
So if I'm watching the video and it looks like there is a kid, looks like a kid, Caucasian, maybe possibly Asian, male, about 5'5", maybe middle school kid, and he's jimmying his way into the car. So
Interesting.
he entered the car with, like a locksmith would get in there real quick.
All right.
Then it looks like he goes behind the wheel. I mean, I can't see it at this point, but they're showing a simulation of what they're doing. But they get to the ignition of the vehicle.
Okay.
They disassemble it a little bit.
All right.
And then they stick the USB in where you would normally stick your key, and they just turn it, and it's voila.
Step 5,
Starts.
they realize there's still a dork driving a Kia.
This is, you know what this says?
Jackass.
Expect soon there's going to be a massive recall on Hyundai and Kias, because the more that this happens, they have to do something.
They
to
got to
fix.
recall it. Yeah.
They have to do it, or else like they're pretty much done at this point. But then also you look at like these other auto makers, and are they like that too? But then Kia and Hyundai, they both come off the same assembly line, so those vehicles are very similar. So I can see how that happens. But
We're going to need to make this thing USB proof, dude.
Right. Well, isn't that a giant red flag with the ignition system altogether? Like,
Yeah.
if you could just stick an electric component in there and turn, like,
And now
why
wait-
would you even have to disassemble it?
And now
You
wait
just
till all-
attach the power to any key,
Right.
a dummy key.
technology,
And when all the cars
has
are electric,
definitely,
then they're going to be pulling some real bullshit. Oh, now we can daisy chain them together. And
So
send them
this
all
is
the
another
time.
reason why they've been wanting to pull TikTok.
Keep the
from
pills away
United
from
States.
that guy, all right?
Yeah, this is why they've been wanting to pull TikTok from the United States, because of dumb shit like this.
Hooking all
and
the
that's-
cars together.
because some kids gonna do this and they're gonna be no longer with us. And then their parents gonna be crying, "Oh my God, little Timmy he didn't like motherfucker. Little Timmy was on fucking TikTok like an asshole and tried to steal my car. So we put his little ass somewhere where he ain't be able to do it no more."
Here's the issue, kids.
They're going to be Bluetoothing our cars on here in a little bit when they're electric.
That could happen.
Oh, let
I
me
know, right?
airdrop this onto your car.
That could happen.
Here's the issue, kids. You can do your little TikTok challenge, and you could even get 2 million followers. Unfortunately, those plays and followers ain't going to do shit when they put the handcuffs on you,
At all.
It's true.
dumbass.
Go to
Right.
jail,
So
man.
stop with the stupid shit.
And then they're gonna find the parents too.
It is football season at this point.
Yes!
There were some people inducted into the Hall of Football Fame.
Really? Oh, yeah, the Hall of Fame game.
That was last week.
Thursday, right?
Who got inducted into the Hall of
I
Fame?
know
Does
Richard
anybody know?
Seymour got in there.
Yeah.
That one offensive tackle, Tony Baselli, or however you say his last name, they played with the Jaguars.
Yeah.
He got in.
I want to know how Devin Hester did, man.
Well, he's not right now. It's too soon for him.
Man,
I don't know. He's been out of the league a minute.
he
not
should
that
be
long.
first ballot, man.
But the biggest headlines this offseason was Aaron Rodgers talking about self-love
He'll
and
be
mental
there.
health. I have some audio here from an interview that he did on a podcast here recently where he talks about, doing the psychedelics in his offseason and then winning MVPs. Let's listen to what Aaron Rodgers has to say.
I don't think it's a coincidence. I really don't. I don't really believe in coincidences at this point. It's the universe, bringing things to happen when they're supposed to happen. And there's signs and synchronicities all around us at all times if we're awake enough to see them and to take them in and to listen to our intuition when it's speaking to us or, pounding us in the head saying, "Hey, dummy, wake up. This is, what you're supposed to be doing." And through listening to, your podcasts and following you and hearing you talk about psychedelics and my experience on the beach, it opened me up to the possibility of doing it. I'd heard about ayahuasca and, I think there's so many myths and rumors about it. The fear around it is you're going to shit yourself. It's just a big throw up fest. It's, all these
Both not completely untrue.
I would think that would be a plus, right?
But the negative
You're gonna shit
framework of it is
yourself. Come on.
that is the experience.
Party
not
time.
Clean my
and
colon.
Meaningful and crazy, mind expanding possibilities, and also deep self love and healing that can happen on the other side. And a dear friend of mine, Jordan, in 2019 went down to Peru and did an experience and came back, and we were playing golf one day right after he got back, and he told me the whole story, and I was moved, deeply moved, and I felt
Bowel
like
movement.
now it's time.
It's time. And he took the mushrooms. He later goes on to say that he did these psychedelics and then went on to win back-to-back MVP awards.
Yeah.
So did he do mushrooms or did he do ayahuasca as well?
He did
I think he
ayahuasca.
did it all.
Yeah.
He did it at psychedelics. He did the ayahuasca. He expanded his mind, and then all of a sudden, he was able to see the defense.
Well, I think the mushrooms was the when he was talking about my experience on the beach.
Right.
I think that's what he was talking about in general.
I like when he said that there are signs in the universe and there are really
Sure.
no accidents.
Yes.
I like what he was talking about in the beginning.
So I guess that's
I
what
agree.
You got to tune into it.
Well, I
I
guess
totally agree.
That's what
100%.
everywhere.
inspired because he never had a tattoo until now, and I'm looking at this new tattoo he got on his forearm, and it's badass, and it totally aligns with his experience with mushrooms and ayahuasca. It's actually pretty rad, very detailed.
My friend told me it's called Mother something. Mother Ska.
Motherfucker.
That stuff scares me, though. I'm like not sure about it. I'm afraid I'd take it and lose my mind.
I want to try it. Like I've never done mushrooms before, and I'm curious about it. But I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and
The mother plant.
Who on the show has done mushrooms?
I've done mushrooms quite a bit.
have.
Yep.
I've done it a
Who's
couple
the most
times.
experienced mushroom user on the show?
Definitely TK.
Yeah.
TK, you're the expert
Yeah.
mushroom user. Explain the mushroom experience to the audience that maybe hasn't done the mushrooms, and then also make sure we're responsible. Make sure you disclaim that we're not promoting kids
Right.
to eat a bunch of
Oh,
mushrooms.
because
definitely
we're not.
We're not
totally
promoting
not.
This is an adult show.
nothing at all like that. But go ahead and tell us about the experience, TK.
So down here in Southwest Florida, we get rainy seasons. In those rainy seasons, there's cow fields. In the cow fields, there's cow shit. In the cow shit, there are mushrooms. Those mushrooms are special magic mushrooms. We call them purple ringers. And you find
Purple ringers.
those certain mushrooms would go out after the rain in the morning time before the sun makes them melt back down. You get them at the perfect size. Boop. Sometimes we would eat the cap right there in the field. Bloop. And then sometimes we'd take it home and we would make tea out of it and drink the tea.
That's what I had.
But
Really?
either way, it starts in your belly. You start to get these butterflies in your belly, and feels like your belly's tingling. Everything starts to get funny. You start to see like light when you're hearing sound. You're starting to see the light moving also, and then eventually everything starts to breathe around you, like breathing. And then if you take enough of it, you'll start to see things growing, moving, light switching with sound. It really starts to get awesome.
I mean,
And it makes you laugh. You feel really good. Like it's euphoric.
I've only reached like that very first stage. I've never gotten past the like
Just more
scene stuff
of it.
and a lot of laughing. You know, that
No,
was,
if
So
you,
you did
eat
you're in a good
more of
mood.
it-
You're definitely in a good mood.
If you eat more of it, the more you eat, the further you go to that. And we would go to the where we wouldn't puke. I don't like puking, so we would drink a little bit of it. Sometimes we'd puke, but if you puked,
you're done.
you're in there, boy.
Kind of
You're
like
a
doing
rabbit.
beans.
so
You're
so
done.
what,
You're going. You're
so were you saying like the experience like it's a
intensifies quite a bit
Yeah.
if you puke.
so like can you overdo it?
Yeah, you can freak out. You can do too much of it and like just be complete and like you'll feel like it just keeps going.
Look who's talking.
I've done so much of it that you just were like, am I going to stop tripping? Am I fucking retarded now?
Did you ever have like a
Yes.
meltdown?
The
though?
answer is yes.
Not allowed to say that word, but you know.
Did you ever have like
I'm
a
speaking in first person.
like where your anxiety just completely killed you? Did you have that happen ever on the mushrooms? Where you
I've
just-
had bad experiences.
Bad
trips.
I had times where people around me were having bad trips and it got really emotional, like that they were talking about. And I had
you like my soothing voice?
Like emotional like how though? Like like were they like boo-hooing and stuff like that? Did they go down like a wrong
they get terrified. They get like they start to see like it starts to get maybe scary because you're afraid that you're fucked up now or
Yeah.
you've gone too far. You know what I mean? You get scared that maybe you have done something to yourself you can't undo.
Yeah.
And that's when it can get scary. But you have to relax when that happens and just be like, ride it. If you can ride through that right there, if you can get through that little bottleneck, you'll come out the other side and be like, let's go outside and walk around. Look at the fucking trees.
Sounds like smoking sherm joints.
Look at this tree
Exactly
for like an
like
hour.
That's the way Mike Tyson described it too. I saw an interview with him where he described his experience on the magic mushrooms and the ayahuasca, and he said, at first I'm like, oh no, I don't want to go, and then all of a sudden I'm like, woo, look at me go, and then he was like, I just wrote it. He was just like,
That's what it is.
and that's exactly the way he described
See,
it.
I really do want to try it. I think I have to be supervised, obviously, because I don't want to do anything crazy, and I will do it with some folks who've done it before.
Would you be willing to do it for the show, Memphis? Like do it on the air? You think that would freak you out?
I would totally do it, but I do have a wife to go home to, and listen.
You'd have to let her know because you can't have somebody freaking out on you while you're on it.
Well, I
That's
mean, how
what would
long
give
does
you
it
a bad
last?
trip.
Yeah,
If somebody
how long does it last?
came and got in your face
The
while
only
you're
person
on it,
we'd
it
have
wouldn't
to
be
worry
good.
about is TK because I think you're the only person that would get into Memphis's face, possibly.
Yeah.
Be fucking with me on purpose.
Yeah,
and
you'd be like
shit.
trying to
Him
fuck
and his
with him.
rhetoric.
No,
Yeah,
you
you
guys know. I would lead the journey into
Have you-
into an amazing place.
That's what we're afraid
Now,
of.
TK, did you ever go to a festival or go see a DJ like with a big stage show? And did you ever go do that while you were on any magic mushrooms?
You know what's crazy is when these big festivals just came into being, I was kind of past my point of that shit. So I never got to go to a big festival.
Really?
Like a Coachella or something like that.
No, I don't remember. I just remember kind of being in like crappy clubs being.
Me and TK traveled all around the United States and into Canada with Shaq touring with him a couple of summers ago. And we would go to these festivals and I saw the people on these magic mushrooms. And I realized that these DJ festivals, that's a lot of it is what it's about, these psychedelics, because these stage shows are amazing. And people always wonder, and I'll ask you guys, is going to see a DJ like going to see a real concert?
No.
Is it considered a concert?
No.
Because it's just a DJ up there hitting play and playing his mixes and maybe playing some music from another DJ. But the real part of the show is the music going with the visuals, the lights.
The lights is definitely
The big LED screens they have with all the special videos and visuals, and then the bass of the music. And I went to this one, Lost Lands, where you literally felt like you were in some prehistoric time with the animatronic dinosaurs.
That's dope.
On both sides of the stage, they had volcanoes to where when the bass would really hit, the volcano would erupt. And
that's what it's about, man. The pageantry of it all.
That's dope.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Using your imagination and being somewhere else, like where you don't have to really just be
you
yourself.
feel free.
You can be yourself.
What if they got like people on the
you have
stage
to-
that are playing the drums or they have instruments? Does that make it a concert then?
I think for me, I think it depends on who you ask. Honestly,
Is it a concert
Because
to you,
it's
Ramo?
definitely a show, because if you can appreciate the art of mixing, regardless of whether or not they're actually doing it at that point. Let's just say, for instance, we're back in, late 80s, early 90s, where a lot of these sync and pre-recorded crap isn't going on. And, we're checking out one of these DJs at the show, mid 90s, just killing it. Like blending the records how they're supposed to be blended without, any sign of transitions per se or anything, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the art of being able to do that. And then you add the pageantry of the light show, and then the weird fuck in the corner with the glowy fingers doing his crazy dance and the freaking girl spinning the hula hoop that's lit up. Like, that's fun shit.
And
it's
to
definitely
your
fun.
point, that's what I always said about me DJing. The crowd is the
Yes.
entertainment, right? With a band, the band is the entertainment.
Big time.
But with a DJ, the crowd is the entertainment. So
Yeah.
you are I'm
you're like
putting
in
out the
sync.
energy, but you're
Right.
Receiving
See,
what we
I've been
putting
able
out.
to experience it from both sides of it. So I think I kind of have a better grasp of what I'm trying to say than maybe the picture I'm painting. But it's just
these are 4 DJs in this speaking on these mics.
It's more of just a
People will hate on the DJ though
they do,
and say
bro.
that he's not really putting on a show because he's just up there hitting buttons. They did a whole like Saturday Night Live.
Well, I think
skit on
I mean, there's some people that are like that.
Well, I think my personal opinion is like if you're gonna be up there, you actually got a DJ, because my version of DJing is actually DJing, not just getting up there pushing buttons and making hearts with your hand and jumping around and shit.
And if you're
Like,
DJing, you're playing an instrument. I think if you're playing these turntables like this,
Right.
you got the needle, got to have the needle right. It's just like the thing on a
Right.
saxophone. You got the reed on the saxophone.
Yeah.
You got to have your needle correct. If you go there with a broken needle, it's not going to work.
Because to me, it's like
It's an instrument.
It's like you
Sure.
cheating. You cheating the people. You know, you charging more than a premium to get in to see you.
Yeah, no doubt,
And
definitely.
then you're not actually DJing.
But
you know,
then-
like,
but then
see,
you-
that's the problem
sure.
I have, and I know a
No,
lot of DJs.
I agree.
Do have a problem.
I
with
agree
that.
100%, and most DJs probably do feel that way. But then you look at it from the promoter and the stage and the light people and the sound people and everything else involved. Like when you're talking, maybe a one-off show or something like that. Yeah, definitely you should be up there doing your thing. But
Right.
if you're on tour, like I'm talking big festivals like Shaq and stuff, and I'm sure he does all his
You're
mixes
saying
live and
it's
everybody like that.
pre-recorded.
But if they were,
I've
in
been
a
to
big
shows
casual-
where I have been to shows where they make Shaq do a recorded mix and he didn't want to do it
Right.
because they time out the lights and the hits and everything.
Yeah,
with
they
the
want to make
music.
it perfect
thing
because
about
it's a
that-
show.
Yeah, but
no,
I mean, but
and I
that's,
guarantee the one that we went to was like that because you remember everything was on sync with
It
his
was
show.
perfect.
Perfect.
I get
But
that.
that's
that
what
one was
makes
like-
it the show that it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like,
get
Yeah.
that. I get that, but at the same
But
time,
at the same time,
I don't like that because like I know how they want to make it perfect, but a perfect show is not a perfect show. You know,
I also get
I think it's as an artist, I want to see an artist doing their thing.
I see both,
Sure.
right? I see the point with the light show. You need the light show. On that setting, you need the shit to line up, right? But I also see art as the DJ, you can't get any energy from sitting there to a pre-recorded mix.
No,
Just can't. You're going to get your energy from, oh shit, I might fuck this up, but I might get it.
Yep.
Ooh, I nailed it. Oh,
Or you like, damn,
shit.
I haven't played this record in a while. I'm gonna fuck them up with this one.
Right.
They ain't gonna know this is coming. We like, wow.
Your selections,
Yeah.
your energy is going to
That's what I respect about Grizz. I don't know if you're familiar with the DJ combo duo Grizz, Griz, but the one guy kills the keys and the other guy kills a sax and gets out there and just blows on it, and they actually play instruments while they're DJing. And another thing I would feel like would be kind of cool at festivals, don't you think it would be cool if somebody actually played turntables and scratched?
I would
I
totally
saw
like
that
to get
once.
up there and Jazzy
I
Jeff
bet-
would get
I
up there
think
and
Bad
do it.
Boy
At
Bill
the
still
Rare
does it.
Fest we went to,
Yeah, Bad
I'm
Boy
not
Bill
sure
does
if it
it,
was
yeah.
A-Track or somebody else, but they were scratching.
Oh yeah,
A-Track, yeah.
yeah, he'll do
A-Track.
it. A-Track, definitely.
All right, well, let's play a little game. So let's go around the room first and find out who considers going to a DJ show, going to a concert.
Mm.
Memphis said no.
No.
TK, to DJ Tomcat, what do you think? Is it, if I say, did you go to the concert? Then usually they call them festivals, right?
Yeah.
But would you consider a DJ show a concert?
I consider it a concert if they have instruments on the stage and also they produced some of the music. I think that's fair.
What about you,
I mean,
Ramo?
I'd say by and large, maybe it's not a artist concert, but I think it's a form of a concert. You know, it's a show. It's definitely a show. If those are synonyms, then yeah.
Well, I've looked up a concert in the dictionary for those of you that want to keep score. It says a musical performance given in public, typically by several performers or of several separate compositions. Maybe that's why you do not call a DJ show or a DJ festival a concert, because it has to be several separate compositions.
Sure.
Now, you could say the guy running the lights is a composer because he's composing the lights, possibly.
Definitely.
I think that we could move on to play a little game. Actually, I saw this meme since we're sitting here talking about concerts. It said my first concert was, my last concert was, and then my next concert is. So to get to know the crew here, the Outcasts on the Outcast podcast, being brought to you by BetterHelp.com/Outcast. Make sure you save that 10% this month. But I want to find out, TK, what was the first concert you ever attended?
It was MC Hammer, billed as MC Hammer, Jodeci, and Boys to Men. But
That's a hell of a lineup.
it was at the dang, down here in Fort Myers, that big Lee Civic Center.
Okay.
And but Jodeci didn't show, but still, MC Hammer came with all the
Hammer
freaking
pants.
all the dancers,
I bet.
all the glitter in the
Spent
hammer
all
pants.
his money.
Bro, the dude with the funny hair was there. You know what I'm talking
Like,
about with the big
yeah.
hair?
Okay, now what was
Oh,
the
yeah.
last concert that you went to? Saw live music. What was the last concert?
Last concert that I went to and saw live music. Man, I'm having a trouble with this one for some reason.
I felt like you and your old lady went to some festival.
We just went to the Sunfest, and I that's right. It was well, Lil Wayne was there, but he was rapping.
That's a concert.
that's
I would
cool.
consider
Yeah.
that.
He
It's a
actually,
concert,
he
yeah.
actually showed up.
Who else played?
Yeah,
there
he
was
showed
like
up.
a
It was
band.
great.
There was a band that played there too, right?
Melissa Etheridge was fucking awesome, and I wouldn't
That's a
have thought
concert.
that, but she jammed out. She was riding the instruments. She was playing the
Oh,
drums. She was
nice.
playing the
She don't
guitar.
like riding dick though.
She was talking about all her songs.
it's a
There were so
double-
many
double
cool.
dong.
There were so many cool lesbian couples around us,
I
Of course.
and they were, it was cool.
I
It
bet.
was cool.
Okay. Now finally, my next concert is. What's the next concert you want to go to?
The next concert I want to go to.
To go see live, what would be a band or a group or an artist that you want to go see? Maybe I should have saved TK for last.
Yeah, he's so high.
Sorry. Who's a band? I don't know. Buck Cherry.
You want to go
That's a
see the
good-
crazy? You want to see some crazy bitches? Is what you want to see.
Sure.
They bring them out.
My lady likes Buck Cherry.
All right, Ramo. Let's move to Ramo. Your first concert the freaking Puerto Rican ever saw.
The DOC.
The DOC.
Nice.
Yes.
Where
Nice.
were you when you saw
Jacksonville,
the DOC?
Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. A good show. Any memories from it?
Yeah, just the fact that that was right when he had gotten an accident and lost his voice, so he didn't make the concert. But there were other acts there. I can't remember exactly who the other acts were, but they threw down. It was a good
Can
time.
you imagine had he not had that accident,
Oh,
how
dude,
cold he was?
yeah, no, he was
he
dope.
writes for like everybody.
He does.
And he's Erykah Badu's one of her baby daddies.
And then what was the last concert that you attended? Do you remember?
Yes, the last concert I attended, I'm pretty sure was Mark Anthony at Hertz Arena.
I need
Okay.
to know.
Of course it was.
I like Mark Anthony.
Dick.
Yeah, and then your next concert, if you could go to your dream show, and I would say the band has to be alive.
Well, I
and
already
has
know
to
what
be
concert
touring.
that I'm going to.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is your next concert?
Daddy Yankee at Hertz Arena.
Daddy Yankee.
It's hot,
I like Daddy Yankee.
The freaking Puerto
I like
Rican
Daddy
comes
Yankee.
through in the clutch.
Daddy Yankee.
I thought it was Daddy Janky.
Yeah, that's
Daddy Yankee.
It depends on what I see
I'd
you
rather
high.
hear
Play
him
some
than
Bad
damn
Bunny.
It depends. Well, no, where'd you come from?
And what concert is it that you're gonna go see next? TK, did you tell me?
I Buck Cherry, but I'm
Cherry,
I'd
'cause
like
that's
to
kind
change.
of that's a flamer, you know.
I don't really,
know.
my lady likes that band, and she was saying she first liked it for the song "Crazy Bitch," and she was even saying we should do the album on our album thing
Yeah,
on our
so
album
she,
on
is
the
she
Vinyl Boys.
admitting that something here? Is she saying something?
Well, she's definitely crazy, and she definitely went out to see the band play it because she was a band groupie. She was a
Uh-huh.
groupie for sure. A200 groupie, our
Oh, wow.
local band.
It sounds like
Whatever.
I hear some jealousy there,
Yeah, it sounds
Tomcat.
salty.
What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
jealous.
Fuck those guys. What? What do you mean?
Jealousy.
She should be a fan
I
of
love those
Tomcat.
guys. I love those guys.
All right, let's move on
That
to
band sucks. What?
man.
Memphis. What was
Yes.
the first concert you ever attended? Was it in the Lou?
It was in East St. Louis. It was right across the river. It was Too Short.
Too short.
Yeah,
My man. Yeah. What do
I
you
was,
remember from that show?
Oh, a lot of shit. I was obviously wasn't supposed to be there because of that a nightclub, but my neighbor had a catering company and she would cater all these big shows, and she asked my mom, my brother, and I help. She's like, yeah, go ahead, go. So we're in this back area, and this where everybody's hanging out, and it's a stage and everything. And I noticed it was like a pool, and I'm like, this is weird, but whatever. So she's like, you guys serve the plates, and this guy was selling the beer. Well, this motherfucker got drunk, and so we decided that we gonna raise the price of the food and the beer, and we gonna just pocket the rest and give her, And then next, I hear somebody go, bitch, and I'm like, there's only one person that can say bitch like that. And next thing I know, I look at the stage and everybody like, hooray! And all I hear was, these are the tales, the freaking. I was like, no,
That's
it's
how
not.
the food
And
is.
I made a beeline straight to the stage, moving people and shit. I'm on the front row.
It was
rapping
Master P.
No, it was it was Too Short ass. And I'm rapping the words, and I remember he's like, who is this little motherfucker in here? How you little ass get in here knowing all the words and shit? And I'm like, bitch. And I'm like, hell yeah, that was my first concert, yeah.
And then your last concert, the one that you went to here the most recently.
The most recently I went and saw Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
In Tampa.
Where was that?
In Tampa.
And he was good?
Hell yeah. That motherfucker killed it.
We said he was like our favorite rapper.
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
You
Kendrick.
guys just say, yeah.
And then your next concert, do you have one already lined up, or is there
but
one
I
you're
would,
thinking about?
I would like to go catch Lenny Kravitz.
That would be a
That'd
good.
be cool, yeah.
That would
Yeah, I
be
would like
a
to
real
catch
cool
Lenny
show.
Kravitz.
I'd imagine he plays in Miami quite often.
Yeah, I don't want to see him in Miami though. I would like to go see him somewhere like Red Rocks out there.
What
in
about
Denver
Daddy
somewhere.
Yankee?
Daddy Yankee, yeah, he goes to town.
Hey,
Let's
Daddy
go
Yankee.
check him out, Link.
I
He
would-
always in Miami.
Bad
No,
Bunny.
listen, I would go see Daddy Yankee. I like Daddy Yankee. I'd rather see him versus Bad Bunny.
All right.
You do not
I'll
like
take
Bad
the-
Bunny only because
I'll
they
take
request
the
it all the
Bad
time.
Bunny heat. Send all the Bad Bunny heat. I'll take the smoke.
You should
Bring
want to
it.
go to the concert just so you could yell at all the fans, be like, "I hate y'all.
Yeah.
I'm a DJ. I'm
You
sick
know
of
what?
y'all."
Make you wear a red
No,
hat.
you know what? I would be that asshole, right? That I would go to the Bad Bunny
do you
concert
mean
and
would
I would
be?
do to him what his people do to us. I'd be like,
Let's hear some Tupac.
I'd be like, play Notorious B.I.G.
Put a big
That's
request
hilarious.
out to him.
right in the front row. Oh man,
He might drop it on your ass.
And then you just got to go request like a language like they do. They'd be like, "You got some Spanish music?" Will be like, "Yo, you got some English music?" Like,
oh
You're like,
man,
yeah? Because you're talking.
that'd be so classic. I probably will do that too. Just
it won't work
because.
though. Trust me. I've tried it.
Oh damn.
I used to live in Miami, and I was white.
Terrible.
Well,
So-
my first
Didn't
concert.
speak English.
My
Or I didn't
fir-
speak Spanish or English, apparently.
The first concert that I ever went to, my dad took me. He was working at the radio station, so we got good seats. You know, that's how it works. You get
Yeah.
free, you get
That's
paid
cool.
shit,
Yeah.
but you get good pizza and you get good tickets.
That's true.
Sometimes.
And so we got second row to see Bob Dylan,
Nice.
and opening up was Allison Krauss and Union Station.
Nice.
And
Okay.
the only thing I remember, I was probably like 10. And I remember in the front row, this couple, and at the time you're like thinking, what the fuck is going on here? But this couple dressed up as bride and groom, woman in her full bridal dress, but then she painted her face like with
What?
skull bones and like looking like she's dead. And I remember it reminding me of Beetlejuice,
oh yeah.
when they're
Beetlejuice.
they're dressed up
Beetlejuice.
and they all of a sudden start of a sudden start looking like they're dying. And so this couple in the front row looked like they were dying, like they were all dressed up like they were dying, and it just seemed weird. You know, Bob Dylan at 10 seems like kind of an odd act to see. And I was right there, right close to him, but at the time I had no idea who I was looking at. Is Ramo leaving?
Yeah, it
Oh,
looks
it's-
like he's taking off.
Oh
Shit,
man,
where you going,
look,
man?
easy time.
Where you going? You just sliding
Oh
on
no,
out?
you don't get to use my mic.
This guy's
COVID
on
Jones.
easy time.
He just sneaking right on out.
I thought you said you had to leave at 1:10. It's only like 1:07. You still
Well,
got 3 minutes.
Everybody was flagging me out, so they're like, "Yo," I'm like,
Well,
"All right,
we
well, then I
was
probably
letting
should
you know
bounce."
that you said you had to leave at a certain time, so we
School's back, huh? Kid,
Yeah.
gotta
we're
get the
looking
kids.
at the time.
Unfortunately,
Well, you
yeah.
don't want you to be late. You know?
All right, man, go get in that parent pickup line. You know, that is one of the worst things. And I mean, it's cool to pick up your kid, but I always hate sitting in the parent pickup line.
Yeah, one day maybe we'll do our show live from the parent pickup line. We'll let TK run the board, and then the rest of us will go get our kids.
The teachers like you?
I guess the
They
parent,
do for a lot of reasons.
Why?
Oh,
You give them
whoa,
weed?
What's going
No,
on?
definitely not. But my kids are usually pretty good in
I
school.
bet there are a lot of
and
hot
I
moms
don't
in
give 'em a lot
that
of-
teacher line. I mean, their parents line, huh?
No, you usually sitting in your car. You really don't get to calm down, horny.
Don't get Ramo
Hey,
in
did you
trouble.
ever talk to your therapist about your sex addiction?
No,
Oh,
I
you
didn't.
Hey, I have one too.
Blaine, there goes
another
leave.
topic. Yeah,
Yeah, as you walk out, I'm going to be looking at that ass, Ramo.
I like it. Well, it's a good thing I didn't wear any underwear.
He's got the dad.
I'll see you
bod.
guys next week.
All right,
Later, man. Be safe, bro.
later, short time. Easy time. Easy. That's easy money.
Easy time.
Easy money to get out of here.
Easy like
We love
Sunday
you, man.
morning.
You know we're going to talk about you as soon as you leave the room,
All
right?
right, yeah, man.
All right. Bye.
Goddamn that rainbow, man. Golly.
What is he doing, man? I just gave him a little extra money this week, too, for the podcast because it's been doing so good. We're making all this money now, starting to.
Yeah.
I give him the money, and then all of a sudden he leaves early.
Hey,
So-
you know what?
so we're gonna get some money too, right? 'Cause we stayed.
That raise, you know what I mean? That raise is like, hey, you know what? I can let my hair down a little bit. you know?
It's all right that he goes, you know.
You know where that's going for me? The fucking electric bill.
Hell yeah, man.
Did anybody else's electric bill double out there?
Mine did.
Those
I know.
bastards.
I know. We talked about it. Actually, you know what? The wife texted me a little while ago and was like, "Hey, our electric bill went down $8.66."
Oh shit.
Yeah, you don't even want to know how much it was here at the radio compound, the radio station.
Definitely over
Celebration.
500 for sure.
It was 608 this last month.
Shit, mine was like a few bucks short of 4.
Because you got a pool, and
Yeah.
you got a big.
And I got my nephew living here. I got three
Oh,
teenagers.
he made it through the trials and tribulations, did he?
Oh, yeah. I got my hands full over here. My nephew, he's been doing a lot of that drinking. He got kicked out of his own house
I see.
because he's been having it out with his old man.
All
He's
right.
not even old enough to drink, but he likes having a few pops, I guess.
All right.
And so he gets kicked out and he comes over to my house.
Right.
And now he's gotten into my booze.
Yep.
Oh, hell no.
Tell him a story about the beers.
Oh, yeah, the beers. Well, there's multiple stories. One story is he took some of my, I know I don't drink a whole lot, but I kind of pay attention to my bottles to see if anybody's been drinking them.
Right.
And I noticed that there was a little dent in the tequila. So that, this is a good tool for you parents out there that maybe aren't as smooth as me. What you got to do is when you want to catch a kid doing something, you congratulate them on what they did. You seem like you're happy that they did it. And then they'll confess. So I said to him, that tequila was pretty good, man. Looks like you really hammered it home, man. Pretty good stuff, huh? What'd you think? Like smiling at him, like, hey, tell me how was it? And then he fell right in. At first he was like wondering what, but then when I was smiling all happy, he was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good tequila, man. Thanks.
You got to commit.
Like,
you got to commit to
my
this.
ass, you little asshole.
You can't be a bad actor.
Yeah.
though.
Then I flipped on him. I was like,
shit.
so you are the one that took my tequila. Now I'm talking to him man to man.
Did you have a Spanish accent? Then when you flipped it, you
He
should
took my
have.
tequila. You got into my tequila.
Who the fuck do you think you are, kid?
Okay, now you're busted.
So I just told him, man, you're trying to get your life together. The booze, if you want to drink it, you got to do it on your own time, and you ain't taking my booze, and I'm letting you stay here. And so then I ended up getting a couple of beers from my dad for my birthday, and he got me these Cubs beers.
Nice.
That had the Cubs logo on them, and they're Budweisers.
Okay.
And I put them in the fridge, and I thought to myself, I just told this kid, stay away from my booze. I gave him the old, hey,
Don't touch my shit.
Don't touch my shit. I felt like I gave him the man to man. I tried to respect him. I wanted him to respect me.
Mm-hmm.
Then, all of a sudden, I had 2 of these souvenir beers. I don't know why I put them in the fridge. They were probably old beers. I'm not going to drink them anyways, but I just want them to be cold because you never know. I go to the refrigerator, 1 beer, down to 1 beer. I used to have 2 special Chicago Cubs beers, only have 1. Now I'm thinking, who the fuck drank my beer?
Everybody in this house, no, don't touch my shit.
Well, my kids aren't old enough to drink. He's not old enough to drink. And my lady
Amy don't want it.
drink.
Yeah.
I mean, if she drinks, she's going to drink her wine. She don't want no fucking old beer. And anyways, we just start checking the boxes in the house, asking everybody to make sure.
We don't even know the expiration date on
Happens
this beer.
to be, he takes the beer. So now.
What, do you have the can in his room or something?
Well, I left it up to Amy, who is his blood relation. I said, you know what? You tell this kid, he needs to go to some meetings. Maybe he needs to go to
Yeah,
meeting
I
or
was just
something.
thinking.
He can't even handle himself to not drink my freaking souvenir beer. Well,
So that's when she was like, he either goes to AA or he's out. That was the last I had heard of it. That's why when you just said he's still here, I was like,
Oh, yeah.
he made it through.
And then he had a crying fit, and I told him about the meetings, and he told Amy, he told her that he thought the beer was a Pepsi because it didn't look like a beer
That dog don't hunt.
because
Yeah, like,
it had
come
the
on,
Cubs logo on it. I'm like,
Negative.
well, nice try there, Ghost Rider, but it's
No.
just because it's got the Cubs logo on it doesn't mean. I mean, if you're that fucked up that you can't tell the difference between a souvenir Budweiser with the Chicago Cubs logo on it and a Diet Pepsi.
I mean, and Pepsi
You
is
need
literally
glasses.
like right there. It's right there. They made it let you know like it's their can, regardless of whatever logo they put.
Nobody's buying that.
Yeah.
He knew
So,
you weren't going to believe that shit.
I mean, I feel bad talking about this because I know people struggle with that kind of stuff. I've lived with a
I'm an
brother that
alcoholic.
has that problem. TK has been an alcoholic in his life. I've been addicted and been addicted to substances where I did things that I regret. So that's why I have a soft spot in my heart. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he's a bad kid. He means well. He's got a great heart. And I hope that he gets his shit together. And I'm trying to help him get his shit together.
Right.
But unfortunately, my fucking electric bill is $608, God damn it, and my fucking souvenir beers drank.
And then let's not leave out. I'm not trying to pour salt and shit, but I mean technically with the tequila. But I mean he did get in your tequila.
They got him on tequila.
And I'm a big tequila guy, so I know how I would feel if I came home and, you know, I'd go to get me a couple shots or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know where I left it, you know, where it was, you know, when I finished drinking it last, where it was at. And now it's less, you know, and it's just the wife and maybe if the in-laws swing by, then maybe. But, you know, let me one of my nephews or my nieces come to my house and do that. Oh, yeah, I'm mad. They mad. Y'all going home.
But when you have an addiction, I'm not saying maybe he's not, because that's what he tells me. He tells me that he just, you know, he's drinking because that's what his buddies do. And
well, maybe he need to change
his
his circle.
Young, he's having fun. You know, I can be good. You know, is what he's telling me.
Show me your friends. I'll show you your future.
Yep.
I mean, I did the same thing when I was young. I had these really good friends when I was in middle school that were doing the right thing. But for some reason, that Tupac double album came out, and I wanted to hang out with those kids.
Oh, you blaming on Tupac now, huh?
No, Damian Minko.
Yeah, that too. Well, I mean, it was like, I don't know what it was, but I started hanging out with the guys, and most of them have turned out to be okay. Some of them really good. My close friends that we grew up in high school, but a lot of them just wanted to cause trouble. And if you didn't cause trouble, you were soft. Back when we were coming up, it was, are you hard?
Yeah.
Or are you soft?
Yeah, you couldn't be soft because then people
and
try
it's funny because you feel like you could have always like disengaged and just gone to the library and studied, but back then you just couldn't. You know, you wanted to go hang out where there were girls, and if you wanted to go where there were girls, you had to deal with other guys that were a alpha personalities who were also trying to talk to those girls, and you had to mix it up with those guys.
Yeah, it's unfortunate if you could go back, obviously, and see your young, stupid self and tell yourself, you know, go hang out with those kids that are worried about their grades and the kids that are staying out of trouble and not going out late at night and breaking laws. Those kids, you look at them now, they're all, for the most part, all of them are doing really well.
Right.
You know, they're not the nerd that they were in high school. And you think about that time when you're young or teenager, like it's such a, when you get our age, you know, in our 40s, which is not super old, but we're old enough to be OGs.
Yeah.
It's like you start to see that you know, that time is so small. You know, that 4 years you wanted to be the coolest kid in the world is really a small time in your life, and you have so much more time in your life to be the coolest of all.
That's true.
And be a real boss. You know, be a real boss. Like, so you kids out there, you may think that you're fucking hard, but you're just a little ass pussy bitch.
But
here's legit.
Here's my disclaimer though. All the rich preppy kids are still going to be super like rich and preppy when they get older.
But they gonna have
they had rich preppy coming up and they're going to be rich and preppy when they get older.
But sometimes those kids ruin themselves.
They do.
I'm not going to name any names.
I got a name.
All right. Well, TK, let's not say that name.
We can talk about this off air.
Pee Wee Herman. No, that's not it.
Did he? Well, I remember the athletes. I played baseball in high school, like my freshman year, and I remember these two seniors and juniors that picked me up and threw me in a garbage can. When we would run the 2 miles around the school, there was a spot where you couldn't see, and that was it was like a hazing thing they did. They did not just to me, they did to a lot of the freshmen.
Well, yeah.
And this one kid
that
in
garbage
particular
can saw a lot of action.
This kid in particular, I think about him. He was the cool kid in school. Got the hot girl, had a kid with the hot girl.
Threw the nerds in the trash can.
And he was the man. And he is not the man anymore. Too much drinking, lost his teeth. Now he's in his 40s, no job, piece of shit. And the hot girl left him and went with somebody else.
Really?
But this kid threw me in the fucking dumpster when I was in school. But then, you know, I wanted to be
kick
hard.
him while he's down now and throw him in the fucking trash can.
I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
Yeah,
I'm going to ride high.
High?
You got to take
so
the high
run him
road
over.
on that.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, actually, you know where I'm at in my life, TK? In my life where I'm at, TK, I'm praying for the guy, and I hope.
That's the right way.
Totally
That's the right
kidding.
thing. That's the right
I'm
thing.
just being an
That's
asshole.
Right. Now, I remember in high school, we had this thing. It was like my freshman year. It was like, and I don't know how the hell it started, but it was like me and my boys and most of my class, the freshman class, and we kind of teamed up with the juniors to take on the sophomores and the seniors. And kind of like your situation where you running and it's a part of the school where can't nobody see and you get thrown in a trash can. Now, it didn't happen to me, but it did happen to my homeboy. And we would get caught like all the time, like freshmen, we don't know what the hell we're doing. And they would catch us at the weirdest places and they kick our ass and whatnot. But I guess it was more fun though, because it was fun. It was just fucking fun. But
It wasn't getting fun throwing it in the garbage can.
yeah, I didn't think my friend liked
There's all
getting
kinds of
tossed
shit
the
in there.
trash
And
can.
I remember the worst part about it was, and thankfully I didn't get stung by a bunch of bees, but you live down here in the South, you look around a garbage can, there's no
yeah.
lid on
Nest.
it. There's bees all over. I
They're
just remember
everywhere. Yep.
these two, I'm not going to name their names. One of them, very successful, respect him to this day.
The other one, toothless and barefoot.
The other one, toothless and barefoot.
Van by the river.
But they threw me into the garbage can full of bees and trash.
Oh
And
boy.
I never forgave them for that, in my opinion, because it's like fucked up kind of thing. But I guess they did it to other kids too. But it was like a freshman thing with the baseball team, and it's bullshit.
They spread the love.
Get your ass in this damn trash can.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Yeah, there was a part in the school all the way on the back where the coaches couldn't see you because they'd be like, "All right, run." That was like the start of practice. You had to run.
You had to warm up. Yeah.
And there was an area all the way on the other side, way past the baseball fields, way out on the other side, where there was a little bit of a run. But then I found out, actually, you got to just run faster than those guys. And that's how me and my buddies, the freshmen, we got away, was when that coach said, "Go run your lap." That next day, all the freshmen were like, "We're gone first."
Man, these kids are fast.
You ain't catching my fucking ass, boy.
Hell no, you ain't throwing me in the goddamn trash can with
Hell no.
the trash and the bees and Miss Jenkins' underwear that she took off when she had sex with Mr. Smith that we think we didn't know, but we know.
Well,
Kids
know.
are bad. I did some bullying and
kids are
got
crazy.
bullied. You know, I don't really remember much of it. You remember when you were bullied, but you don't remember who you bullied because it ain't so traumatic to you. You don't remember that
Yeah,
shit.
I didn't bully anybody.
I remember
I
being
bet
mean.
we all did a little bit.
remember
I
being
was
mean.
mean to people. I know it.
I wasn't.
But I don't remember
Unfortunately.
it because it wasn't traumatic to me. But when I was bullied, I remember every single time, all the people who did it, which is not a lot. But I do remember.
Which is not a lot.
It was
because
this
I
one guy.
kicked
no,
ass.
it was just one guy that was.
Oh, I
was
did get
two
bullied.
classes
I
older
did
than me
get bullied a
that
pretty
tried
good
to bully
amount.
me one time, and we was on the school
My
bus.
shoes always smell bad.
And he was bigger than me, so I guess he wanted to try to flex and just try to rough me up in the back of the bus. And so I had to fight him, and he kicked my ass. But I fought him to a point where he was like, "This is the motherfucker, don't stop." I'm like, I ain't afraid of you because my cousins and everybody are bigger than you, and I have to fight them, so I'm not afraid of you.
I gotta
But,
tell this. This story.
And he kicked my ass, but I mean, he was like, fuck, I blacked his eye. I got him a couple good times, and he fucked me up, but I got him a good time, so he know
You and your cousin?
No, me and this dude that stayed down the street from me. He was a junior and I was a freshman.
TK
I remember-
can't think about your story because he has his own story.
I just
Go
remembered.
ahead,
I
TK.
just remembered it all started for me back in first grade at the. I had went to St. Francis, which is a Catholic school right here, and this kid used to fart in my face and hold my head there.
I used to do that to my stepbrother.
I was rancid, and I remember. I just had that memory. Like, nah, bruh, you were bullied in first grade. This kid used to fart in your face and hold your head there.
I did that to my stepbrother so much that his dad, which was my stepdad, and he was an intimidating guy. He bullied me. He's like, and he did. He said,
fucking face down there, boy.
He actually stepped to my face, and he was just like, "Why don't you pick on somebody your own size?" I'm thinking, you ain't my size. You're a grown ass man.
You're bigger than me, motherfucker.
But I was so scared of him that I didn't say nothing. I just sat there
crop
like,
dusted
sorry.
the shit out of you.
But I used to pick on his kid. You know, your stepbrother.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
how
hey,
you
don't touch my drumstick. I'll fart on your fucking head, boy.
That's how they say you
I
get
guess
pink eye
that's-
from that shit.
Oh man, that'd be mess. Did you get pink eye from him farting in your face?
No, I farted on my stepbrother's
Oh,
head.
you were
and
the farter.
His dad.
Farted on you.
No,
He was the farter.
his dad stepped to me
his
like,
stepbrother
I'll
was the
fight you.
fartee.
Oh,
Like, what are you messing around with my boy for?
don't
You know?
fart in my kid's face.
Yeah.
I was wondering why his hair was smelled like shit.
He told. Well, actually, he narked. He told on me.
Oh, that's
He
some
narked
punk
on
shit.
me, and then all of a sudden, his dad came in the room and was
Well,
like,
you really gotta beat
"Why don't
him.
you pick on somebody your own size? I'll beat your little fucking ass, kid.
No wonder
you
his
think you're a
breath
tough
stinks."
guy." And I was just like, "Whoa." Because my dad never talked to me like that. You get a new dad in the house, and this guy don't
I'm
play.
like, oh, motherfucker, what? Let me go call my uncles. You tell my
Yeah.
uncles that
Gentry's
shit.
farted in my face.
Oh, yeah, you got to beat him up for that. Like, oh, you got to give him an extra
Smells like
kick under
peanut
the
butter and
table or
jelly.
something.
Yeah.
If like your mom made like a really good meal, you eat some of his,
So you were a bully, Gentry.
I
You were
did.
farting in people's faces
I
from
bullied
a
my-
young age.
I did bully my little brother, but when I first met him, he had like a Super Mario shirt on, and he had like the short 80 shorts, and he was just kind of a nerd.
Dweeb.
And I had to toughen him up a little bit,
Well,
which I may have toughened him up too much because it's been a long road for my stepbrother.
Oh man,
But he's doing really good now, so that's good to hear.
And that's good.
He's got a master's degree, my stepbrother.
Nice.
Have you farted in anybody's face recently? Or are you done with all that?
Remember you
Did
said
you
I
swear it
crop-
off?
You were saying I was crop dusted. That's TK's
I think
word
you-
for
if
farting is
you-
crop
if-
dusted.
If you fart in somebody's face nowadays, that somebody would take that as assault or something like that. I don't think that go.
But
well.
kids still do it, I'm sure.
I hope
Kids
you're
are
happy,
nasty.
TK, because you said you gave a comment on the show a couple weeks ago, TK, where you said we need to integrate farting more in the show,
Yeah, you
worked.
did.
Yeah.
and we did it.
I made a fart joke earlier.
Yeah,
Raymond
So,
loved it.
More farts and shenanigans coming up in next week's episode. Don't miss it. We are the Outcast podcast,
Podcast.
and that's gonna do it for
You
us
from
here.
Boston?
It's been a long fucking show.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for listening.
So long.
See you later from Ramo too.
Where the
Fuck Raymond!
Where did he go? He's soft.